Back in Far Cry 5, we had a ton of Easter eggs and secrets that players were finding from all over Hope County. Far Cry New Dawn also has some Easter eggs and callbacks, and in this video I'm going to go through 10 Easter eggs, secrets, mysteries and references, so I hope you stick around and enjoy. The first Easter egg can be discovered during a treasure hunt, and the location? Parker's Vault. If you didn't know, Larry Parker was a mad scientist who believed in all sorts of crazy conspiracies. The last we saw of Larry was when he activated a device and teleported himself to Mars. Inside his bunker are all sorts of things such as the Lost on Mars DLC poster, film posters from the Dead Living Zombies DLC, and of course a pair of sneakers, which could be a reference to the only thing to survive the teleportation. And if you go to this location up north, you will find film director Guy Marvel's house, which contained 2 of his movie posters from the DLC, as well as a couple of glowing blood dragon eggs. And if you're a fan of Blood Dragon, you might want to check out the Inquisitors Grave. Just to the left here is a silo filled with water. Swim to the bottom, and you will see the skeleton of what appears to be a blood dragon. Other remains of giant creatures are also scattered across the world. To the north, you can find what looks to be the corpse of a giant humanoid. Easter egg 3 is in Roughneck's Crag. If you head on over to the training camp in Prosperity, you will find a note left by Grace, who mentions setting up a clubhouse to the north of the Fang Center. If you visit this place, you'll find all of your guns for hire, all hanging out like a big happy family, interacting with the environment and having special dialogue sequences, just like the 8-bit pizza place in Far Cry 5.
Yeah, I don't really want to wait for the Lord though, man. I want my payback now.
Easter egg 4 can be found in the government plane wreck expedition. This one is a Splinter Cell secret. Look for the plane wreck with the back wide open, clear out the enemies inside and interact with this laptop. For a few seconds, what you will see is a world map along with the words imminent nuclear threat. What's interesting is if I freeze frame right here, you can see 3 distinct red zones. The one in the middle is America, where Hope County is, which is obvious. The one to the far right is Nepal, or more precisely Kirat or Far Cry 4, so the locations of Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5 are lit up. And what's this one to the left? Well, that's Alaska. Possible hint for Far Cry 6 location maybe? I do remember that Ubisoft sent out a survey a while back asking players what locations they would like to see the next Far Cry game set in, and Alaska was an option. So was Vietnam, and a post-apocalyptic world, and a zombie outbreak, all of which we received within the last 12 months. So it could very well be that what they're nudging at is that Alaska is the place for Far Cry 6. What do you think? Personally, I thought that all signs were pointing to Cuba, and even made a video on this channel about the subject. Pushing on, once the map disappears, you will hear a door unlock, so head on upstairs and pick up your new Splinter Cell outfit. Several notes can also be found scattered about, all written by Sam Fisher himself. Easter egg 5 is more of a reference, and that is the Prophecy Wall. By now, there shouldn't be much skepticism around Joseph C's inexplicable ability to predict catastrophic events of the future. He saw that the end of the world was coming after all, and he knew what would happen if Ethan ate the fruit off the tree. He was so sure of this that you can see the drawings the father made on the wall next to his house. It shows Ethan's beastly transformation and the new Edeners surrounding it.
Ethan's sin is pride. There is something deep inside of him.
It is very similar to the hint at the start of 2018's God of War, where you can find drawings on a large rock predicting the events that would happen throughout the game story.
Wait. They knew everything that was going to happen.
Easter egg 6 is a bloody sad one. We are all fond of our four-legged companions that assist us during the game. Timber is especially helpful at marking enemies for us. Far Cry 5 had a companion by the name of Boomer, who appears to have survived to the initial bombing. But 17 years is a long time ago. Make your way to a treasure hunt at the Fang Center, and you will eventually enter a crypt that an animal lover has taken refuge. Use an explosive on this false tombstone, and you will uncover the final resting place of Boomer the dog.
What do we have here? Rabbit.
During the intro, you will witness a cutscene where Lou violently attacks Barnes, going straight for the head and mercilessly beating him on the ground. This is oddly familiar to the famous Walking Dead scene where Negan brutalizes Glenn with his modified baseball bat as people from both sides stand circled around them.
Back to it.
Towards the end of the game, you will have the choice to either kill or spare the remaining living sister. If you spare her and return to New Eden later on, you will find that she left her helmet and a note explaining that she has left and headed east to search for her mother. Easter egg 8. You may remember Nadine Abercrombie from Far Cry 5. She tasks you with collecting a series of comic books. Well, in New Dawn, during the target practice treasure hunt, you can find her hideout. To gain entry, shoot at the targets, and once inside you will spot 3 things. One is the vast bobblehead, the villain from Far Cry 3, a couple more of Guy Marvel's film posters, and 2 red balloons that reference an It Easter egg from Far Cry 5. Easter egg number 9, and we are going to talk about the Judge. Now, I would say this is more of a mystery, but I think pretty much at this point everyone has cottoned on to the fact that the Judge's identity is in fact the Deputy, aka Rook, the protagonist of Far Cry 5. There are a couple of notes and dialogue sequences that allude to this. Why is this person called the Judge? Well, animals in the last game that were intoxicated by a drug known as the Bliss became stronger and more aggressive versions of themselves, and were hence labelled judges. I believe that the deputy underwent a similar process of brainwashing, and the result is the person you see before you, renamed the Judge.
Long ago, there was a deputy here in Hope County. Circumstances left us huddling in a bunker as the bombs fell. We had been bitter enemies, and suddenly we had nothing but time together. We hardly slept. We scarcely ate. I changed that deputy.
My parents told me you helped out on the day I was born. Mom was in labor and you brought us to the birthing center. Do you remember any of that? I've waited nearly 18 years to say thank you. Better late than never, I guess.
Easter egg 10. The final Easter egg is a collection of hidden references. Expedition HMAS Macubri is likely named after a narrative director for Ubisoft. If you browse through the cartography maps, you will see a clear reference to Metal Gear Solid. Zip Cupcar left us a note once again, blabbering on about vampire goblins, Ryan Reynolds, and Elon Musk's driverless cars. And Herc mentions 4 different action movies: Speed, Snakes on a Plane, John Wick, and The Fast and the Furious.
And we couldn't stop her. We was gonna die. It was like Speed, but in slow motion, man. Shit. I was hoping that maybe you could tell me like a cool Bible quote that I could say before I kill people, like the Snakes on a Plane guy does in Pulp Fiction. They made this personal. So now, I'm gonna go John Wick on their asses. I promise you, you're gonna love my car, man. It fucking hauls ass, man. All Fast and the Furious style. It's like a fucking boner on 4 wheels, man.
And that is all 10 Easter eggs, secrets, mysteries, and references. There may be more left to be discovered, but we will save that for another day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, Stone Age Gameplay. Thanks for watching, my name is Dizza. I'll see you on the next one.